All right, here we go. Another 15 minutes of fame. Today, I am joined by a long time and in some corners of the world, very famous DJ Naka G. Actually, let me get my arrows right because I've learned how to work this thing. It kind of is backwards. Anyway, DJ Naka G. Man, he's been around the world with his craft of DJing. He's been with the Olympics. He has been with places in the Western United States. He lives in Aspen, Colorado. He's open format, and he can also do specialty parties. DJ Nakaji, who are you, and what haven't you done?
Goldie, thanks for having me. My name is Michael Nakagawa, also known as DJ Nakaji. I have been DJing professionally for well over 20 years. And before that, I was a bedroom DJ for about 5 years. But yeah, I've done the X Games, every single X Games that's been to Aspen since 2002, I've done. So I've got about 19 of those under my belt. And then
That's awesome.
Yep. And then I've done a bunch of summer X Games. I've been the resident DJ, if you will, for X Games for summer and winter since probably around 2005, 2006. But that opened up many doors for me, including the Olympics. And I've done 3 Winter Olympics, the last 3 from Vancouver to Sochi to Pyeongchang 2018. And one summer, I almost called it X Games, Summer Olympics in Brazil in 2016.
Well, and you and I met through Red Bull, as we both have had the chance to DJ out of the MXT and the Suga. I don't know if you were back in the day of the Pinsgauer, but I know you've been around forever.
MXT, sure, not you said Pinsgauer?
The Pinsgauer was the first, and then the Suga came along, and then there was some peppering of others, like the bus in Chicago and all these other like fire trucks peppered around the world. But the MXT, she was basically what everybody knows.
Yeah. I did do
the
bus once. I opened up for Z-Trip at the base of Buttermilk once on the bus. And
that thing's massive.
Yeah, it was incredible. They brought it on like on the snow, and it was awesome. It was really
That's
cool.
rad. Well, yeah. Naka, I wanna step right into the quicksand of the world that we're living in today, as it kind of rolls off the tongue just as easily as speaking about our careers. And you and I, before I pressed record on this morning, had communicated that, this morning we wake up and we're on this roller coaster right now. We're 2 weeks deep into being literally physically quarantined to our homes. I remember it was March 13th. I got to ski Keystone with those skis right behind me. It was one of the best days I'll put in the top 10 of my life. And as a matter of fact, the person who got me on the mountain that day was going to be part of more interviews today. It was a moment that now even is bigger to me because it's the last time we skied. That's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah. You haven't been in your house in 2 weeks, maybe for your whole entire life. We're on a roller coaster right now. Some days we wake up and it's like, woohoo, candy for everyone. And other days you're like, if you come near me, there will be a knife so far back in your eye right now that, you know what I mean? Just like, you think these brutal thoughts, like you're frustrated. So we're in this. Where are you right now?
Every day is a new challenge. I feel like you said, you remember that date, and it's these days will live in infamy. You think of 9/11 and that's one day, but this is every day we're dealing with this, and every day is a new day. But I think, first off, we're social creatures as humans. Not all of us are introverts. I think all of us have a little bit. I definitely like my privacy. I have my family, and I like that. But my work revolves around being around a lot of people, and it's strange coming into a new day, not knowing what to expect, because we're so used to being in control in so many ways that I feel like nobody's used to this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all rookies.
Like I said, every day is a new day, and I'm happy to, I love spending time with my family. My family's my everything. Everything I do for them, is everything I do as far as my career goes, I do for them, and I do with them in mind, because they motivate me to do more, be a provider first off, and be a better person and do things better.
You
So
know, that's something maybe the general public, if they don't know you personally as much as I've had a chance to be around you in my life, is that you're not just a DJ who's in his youth 20s or somewhere starting out his 30s. He's just like, dude, I don't care. I just need a couple of gigs and I got everything for my beer and my weed and all that. You know what I mean? You literally
yeah,
have, how many kids do you have? Four?
I have 4 kids. I have two
Four
two teenage
kids.
daughters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Two
Yeah.
teenage daughters, 2 sons, 7 and almost 4.
And you live in Aspen. I mean, it's not like you're in Netherlands or something.
Right. Yeah, I'm like a Aspenite through and through. I mean, I moved here when I was preschool age. I did all the way through high school and
Mhm.
left after high school, moved back in '99. And I mean, Aspen, it's in my heart, it's in my DNA, and
Yeah.
the whole ski town culture is part of who I am and what I do. I put it this way, I wouldn't be in the career that I'm in right now as a DJ if I didn't love to ski and snowboard. That's just, I mean, that's about as blunt as I can get.
Right now, and you bring up a point that, you know, you're living in Aspen and you've got a pretty large family, especially for a DJ, if as far as DJs are considered. And I mean, ever since I've known you, you've knocked it out of the park, right? You're bringing your kids to some of your events. You're bringing your whole family to some of your events. Real typical, as Brad J is doing the same thing with his son right now. You know, you're involving your family, where in some cultures they're like, yo, dude, get out of the booth. I'll see you when I get home. Make sure dinner's cooked. Like, what? What? You know, it's a team effort. Which brings me back to the point of these possible like roller coasters that we're going through, days that you get to have a chance to you know, be with your family, you go for a walk, days where you're like, man, can you guys just go lock yourselves in your room for a little while, because I need some space. um, Kind of, how are you juggling that right now?
I feel like, well, we're not really on a particular schedule. I think the boys and I, we're up before 8 or 9 every morning, and I get the duty of cooking for them, and we get to take the dog on these long walks together. And yesterday, we have to homeschool now. So yesterday's lesson was for my 7-year-old son, learning uh, north, east, south, and west. And
That's cool.
yeah, it's the strangest thing. I mean, I feel like we are in the era of electronics, and the kids are on their electronics a bit,
Mhm.
a little too much for my liking right now. But that's when I'm like, put it down. We're going outside.
I mean, look at us right now. Like,
Exactly, exactly.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
life would be going by. I think for people, I feel really, in this situation, I do feel really blessed for the fact that I do live in a ski town and in a small town, because I think of the people in really tight quarters in like New York City, Manhattan, um, Brooklyn, where these people are, in these really old buildings, some of them, and they're really tight quarters and they have to stay inside, and they just can't go outside. I mean, I'm keeping my sanity by being like, I can walk out my front door and I'm right on Aspen Mountain. The other day we just did a quick little hike and walked up Little Nell and then walked home on Summer Road. And you still see people kind of on the mountains, like skinning up, and some people biking. So our social distancing here in ski towns in particular, I feel like is a lot different than the city folk. And my heart goes out to them. I'm very lucky. Like it's a ghost town, yeah, and there's not much going on, but it's easier to deal with because I can go outside and I can walk around and don't have to worry about bumping into 100 different people.
So you're taking care of yourself in the best way that you possibly can around Aspen. Something I want to hit on is how you've been taking care of other people in this time of time.
Yeah.
And that is, you're probably one of the most active DJs on the internet right now doing the quarantine sets. And you know, I
Yeah.
as a DJ, you as a DJ, I get a kick out of it. You know, I've kind of razzed DJs already. Like, we think that we're like the PhDs of coronavirus right now. Like, we're saving the world one DJ set at a time. And,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but and even though I kind of poke fun at it a little bit, I also am really impressed, especially with your aptitude to make sure that you're getting on, if not for an hour or 2 hours a night. This is the fun part too, is I really appreciate this kind of DJing right now, because there isn't somebody in your left or right ear being like, yo, dude, play this format music that makes everybody do this. You're like, you know what, tonight it's all Motown. And if I play something that doesn't make you dance, cool, you're finally listening.
Yeah.
You're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that is for a DJ, that is like really exciting, because now you're digging into the crates where it's like, hey, this is who makes me as a DJ, instead of, and the page that I think that other DJs could definitely take out of your book right now is for some DJs who still seem to think that like they can go out and DJ gigs right now. Like, they're getting creative. They're trying to come up with ways to get paid.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm not on that side. It just stop, man. Just like you're nobody's buying, nobody's spending.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You have a craft. You want to, okay. And maybe even like with the Venmo online, like, dude, just the money. Stop. It's kind of like a money dance at a wedding. It's like kind of tacky. That's my view. I feel that way because you're asking people to give you money in a time where money's not being spent. Like, their dollar is the same as yours right now. And
Yeah, definitely.
you're not offering DJing online. You specifically are not offering DJing online for money. You're just like, yo, check it out. I got Motown Monday. Yo, it's Friday night. Let's light this place up. Yo, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's play couples dances all night or whatever, you know? How has that been for you? I've really enjoyed it. I've listened to some of your sets. We've got about 4 minutes. Give me a 2-minute rundown on how much fun you're having with DJing right now.
I'm having a ton of fun doing it. It took some adjusting for sure. Technically speaking, it was not the easiest thing, but I finally, just by chance, I figured it out. I won't get into that, but finally figured out the sound. And yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun because, well, first off, it's been like therapy. My music is my sanctuary. It really is. And every time that I've touched the decks and played a live stream, I just kind of forget about everything that's all the hysteria that's surrounding us. You know, being quarantined and isolated is one thing, but being quarantined or isolated with good music and being able to take myself back and take people back has been awesome. People have been loving it. For me, this is a lot. I'm not Tiesto or anything. So 1,500 views on a particular video is a big deal for me. And it did get to the point I didn't want to go out and really ask for donations. I know there's plenty of other DJs doing that. I'm okay. Like we're penny pinching and we're getting by.
Like all of us.
But yeah, like all of us. But a friend of mine suggested it on the actual thread and was like, hey, you guys should tip him via Venmo. What's your Venmo, Naka? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to, you know what I mean? I didn't know how to take it. And people were like, yeah. And I was like, look, if you guys want to take care of me and send me a tip or whatever, that's totally fine. So I gave out my Venmo and I made a little extra cash. It was enough for some groceries, and people, it was $5, $10, whatever people could spare. And I totally appreciate it. I really, really do.
Of course.
I'm not quite there yet as far as you being like, this is my only stream of revenue. So I'm doing it because I love doing it. No. And I do feel like perfect example would be, I got a message from an old friend who met me at a couple other places, including Brazil. He travels the world. He's based in Puerto Rico. He's writing right now because he's got so much time. And he's like, he messages me and he says, I am like inspired by your music right now to write. You know what I mean? And people are like, I'm dancing with my family in the kitchen. I'm making a pizza. I'm trying a new recipe while I'm listening to you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't mean to get emotional because I guess I'm just an emotional creature sometimes. But man, that really does feel good to know that I'm doing just just a little bit, you know? And so that's why I do keep saying in my sets, we're going to get this through this together, one song at a time if we have to.
It's perfect.
You know?
We have 30 seconds left, Naka, and I want you to tell the world who you are one more time. Where's the .com? Where's the Facebook? Where's the Instagram? How are we finding you if we ever get out of our houses?
Sounds good. Again, Michael Nakagawa, better known as DJ Naka G. All my handles on my social media are at DJ Naka G, DJ NAKAG. I do have a website as well. It's, but that's all those links are on my website, djnakag.com.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you much more than I appreciate the internet in this particular conversation. And that's been another 15 minutes of fame. Thank you, Naka G. We will catch up with you soon, brother.